Hey everybody, I'm Alexandra Tseffos. My companies are Silent T Consulting and the Design Pop. And what I'm going to talk about today is the Design Pop, but in order to explain why I'm doing it, I want to get into a little bit of my background. So I've been a Configura CET trainer in my career. I've also been a dealer designer and have been in dealer sales. And I've worked for the last 4 years in a capacity of working with manufacturers to understand their go-to-market strategy with their e-tools. I work with dealerships on the adoption of CET. And what happened during the pandemic was really interesting because I would have people say to me, hey, can you help me train my design team while they're at home? I want them to come back to the office and be better than they were when they left. And can you record everything you do? Because we want to use this for onboarding. Great strategy, except does anyone know a designer ever that is going to fast forward over a 60-minute video to figure out what section of that video they need to watch? I don't. They're not going to do it. It's not possible. So they don't have time for that. No one has time for that, in fact. So that was a first problem. The second issue I had is a lot of people said to me, timeline. If we're going to train people, and if they go to training on site for 2 days or spend 5 days doing virtual training, that takes away from our business. So there were these consistent problems that kept presenting themselves. So I took that and funneled that into this project, the Design Pop, where it is, for the most part, on average, 5-minute videos on related topics to CET Designer, Ulio, a little bit of eManage 1. We have some My Resource Library, and Project Matrix. So we've broken it down and done 5-minute chunk videos that are available on the Design Pop. So I'm going to show it to you in a minute here, but I want to just point out that the greatest thing that we need in training is searchability. We need to be able to type something in, find it immediately, and go. No one has time to be wasting on, even calling someone for help, right? Especially when it used to be the designer was sitting right next to you, you could say, hey, you, come over here, help me. That's not the case anymore. Now we need to be able to go and find something because there might not be someone next to you anymore. So this is the website here. Again, due to budget constraints, this has become a very budget-friendly site. Also with timeline and access, it's been great. We launched in April with 35 videos in April, and most of them were created by me on things like CET. Now we're up to 233 as of this week. I think since April 7th, there's only been 1 week that has gone by that we have not released at least one video. So I'm really, really proud of that. We're available on mobile and many other ways. I'm just going to keep scrolling down here so you can all go and explore this a little bit yourself. Like I said, I'll show you behind the paywall, but we have NeoCon access. So this was launched last night at midnight. It will be available until, I think, midnight on Friday as well. This is free access. It has 10 videos there so you can understand what the video content is like. One of them is under personal and professional development from my friend Rob Lanyons with Always Strategic, and that really explores what designers are able to add in a sale, why they are there, and try and encourage them to be more present in that action. There are 8 videos on CET Designer of all different levels, and then we also have My Resource Library and that connectivity between My Resource Library, Project Matrix, and CET available. So again, you can subscribe for free with the NeoCon access. If I log in here to my member portal, so this is what we launched with, was this Gain Savvy section. And to me, this is still the core of what we do because there's a lot of different platforms available here. So with CET, again, we have eManage, Project Matrix, Ulio, and if I jump into my CET section here, you're going to notice that there are videos provided by Convergent Solutions, Silent T, and the CAD Trainer Guy, who ironically does also train on CET as well. We make up the majority of this content. If you scroll down, there's a bunch of information down here on the non-manufacturer extensions like My Resource Library, project symbols for CET, etc. And the core of the platform was that you can come in and search. So if I say I want to know more about alternatives, and let's see how good our Wi-Fi is today. In the Mart, you never know, right? So if I want to know more about CET alternatives, here are the videos that I have regarding alternatives. And if I wanted the most basic one, here's the beginner version of that video. We'll see if it loads for me. There we go. And we can go ahead and hit play, right? It's as easy as that. What I've gotten into, though, is more of this onboarding thing. So this part's great. The fact that we have searchability is awesome if you've already been trained. What if you haven't? What if you're new? What if you've never touched CET before and need to learn it? From the member portal, one of the recent additions that we had is right here, the CET path. So if you've never touched CET before, this is going to be the most affordable way to get you started, in the sense that we have the intro to CET. It moves through basic navigation, starts with beginner topics. You can go through to intermediate, and there's also advanced content on here, as well as, again, some of those non-manufacturer extensions. So this to me has been the most exciting part of what I've been working on. We had to obviously get to a certain video count before we could get into the CET path portion. And I also have been lucky enough to have OFAS participate. Not found? What the heck is that? I know it's found. We'll just jump back into that. So if I click into my OFAS section, it's found. These are the videos that OFAS has provided me. One of the calls to action that I feel really passionately about is that we need to get more manufacturers to understand the importance of educating designers on how to specify their products. So I wish I could, like have a shout out for an amen or something right here, but I don't know if you guys are all practicing designers or not. But I think it's one of the greatest challenges in our industry that everyone says, oh, we're in 2020, we're in Project Matrix, we're in CET, so it's good enough. It's not good enough, because there are always going to be idiosyncrasies within the extensions and within the different products. And so we need to be able to have one place for those. So I am hoping that this NeoCon I can get in front of more manufacturers who feel this same drive and want to put their training education on Design Pop. If anyone out there knows of anyone, let me know, because I am happy to even help you make the content if needed. But I think this is a really special part that I hope to see grow. As I mentioned before, I have a lot of different contributors that are helping me with this site. It really does take a community to be able to get this kind of content together. And so, thank you to all of those who have given me content and are willing to let me use it. This is it. What I find fun about the different perspectives that are lent here is that I might feel that something is a best practice for an organization, right? I've built 2 companies now on a lot of my perspective, but mine isn't the only one. And I think it's really important that we can couple together multiple trainers and different resources and organizations to say, here's what we think is best. So if you look up that alternatives video, there might be 3 videos from 3 different contributors. Don't you kind of want that? I mean, I think that's where there's some power to say, this is what's best for us, and you make the decision. It's not just one person saying, here's the thing that I feel is best. So that to me has been really powerful. So again, we're up to a very large video count. Also available in our member portal, though, is this personal and professional development section, which is growing constantly. We do a monthly webinar. Even if you're not a paying member, please go to our site, click on monthly webinar, and sign up, because I want this to be a community of people in our industry across manufacturer lines. So many of us only hear what our major alignment is saying, and there can be more collaboration than that. So please sign up for that. There's also a POP forum, and this has been an interesting one. I have moments where this is really busy. I have other moments where there's not as much traction. It really goes week by week. But what's been fun for me is questions like this. When somebody says, does CET have a copy base point function like AutoCAD? I was able to go on in here same day and post a video to say, yes, it has something similar, try this out, and then get some dialogue going on that. So I'm trying to stimulate this part. Again, this one, we'll see if this takes off or not, but I'm still remain excited. So this is it in a nutshell, you guys. I know it's fast. It's a simple concept, but are there any questions, or does anyone want to see a video? I can show that too. You tell me. Yeah?
What other paths would you want to create?
The other paths I want to create is, like I said, I have all the project symbols for CET content on here, and I've been in talks with Project Matrix about doing something more now that they are obviously part of the Configura family. That can hopefully evolve. I'm having a couple meetings this week with other specification organizations as well as business systems. So I'm hoping that this can become that one-stop destination, again, for manufacturers training, but also bridging into if it's business systems, if it's anything that a designer touches, right? I believe that designers are the connective tissue of a dealership organization. Anything that they do then has to be done by anybody else, right? So I think it's important to appeal there, and wherever we build from there, we'll see. So yeah, if you have ideas, send me an email. I would love to have that discussion of what you think is needed that I'm not currently representing. So again, it takes a community. Can't just be me. I'm leading with what I know, right? I've been a CET girl most of my life here, so it's easy to lead with what you know, but there's a lot that I don't know too. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions or thoughts? I'll jump back to hit my log out here. If anyone wants to, is interested more in learning about it or wants a tour of your organization, let me know. I'm of course happy to talk with anyone, give a personal tour, explore the content that you want to know if it's there. I've had a couple people say like, can I just watch a few videos here or there? And so we always have free access, and I will normally just say, here's 24 hours of access, go on there and watch, or I'll add the videos into the free access so you can check it out. And that's actually what I've been thriving on, is the emails that I get every single day that say, hey, do you have this certain one, or can you make me one? I'm like, yes, let's make one, let's do this. I actually got an email on Friday asking about something very specific, like how do I make a special? And it was the worst kind of special. If you're a designer, you know this. It was an extended top, height adjustable desk. And it had an angle to it. So it was just like the worst ever. And we had to use about 3 different tools to make it work. So I actually put the email, took her name off, but put the email up on my screen and said, this is what we're gonna try to do in this video. Maybe no one else will ever watch it, but if you ever need it, it's here for you just in case. We might as well share knowledge than just make it once and, send it off to someone and no one else can benefit from it, right? So, awesome.
What's the next webinar?
Next webinar is October 18th, I want to say. I think it's October 18th, 2 p.m. Central, I believe. Don't quote me on it. But like I said, at the top of the site, there is always a link right here to the monthly webinar, and you just go on and sign up. There's a ton of information on LinkedIn, and I have Miss Brandy over here who's helping me with my Instagram presence as well. So there are other social media locations that you can go to find out more information about the webinar. The topic is to be determined for October. So again, if you have ideas on what's needed, let me know. I'm a sponge over here. Awesome. Thanks, everybody.